from the Pavilion in Oxford, Mississippi. It's SEC basketball on ESPN. And a big-time showdown as the Rebels take the home floor where they are 9-1 this season. And they match up with Texas as conference foes for the first time ever. Texas and number 23 Ole Miss and old friends, the former Texas head coach Chris Beard, now the head man at Ole Miss, and the man that took over for him, Rodney Terry, has led Texas to consecutive top 25 wins. Here's a look at the SEC standings. These are the top 11 of 16 in the best league in the country. Auburn on its way to going to 7-0 in conference play. A demanding start to the perfection for the Auburn Tigers and head coach Bruce Pearl. These two teams trying to get in the top tier. What a win it was for Texas on Saturday afternoon as they welcome their friends from College Station to the Moody Center. Wade Taylor IV had a great game, but late, Tre Johnson took over. And then, even later, Tremont Mark hit the fourth game winner of his college career. Wade Taylor's last second heave was off the mark, and Texas with an upset win over A&M 70-69. It's a series that began in 1955, but they've only met once since 1980. Tre Johnson is the SEC's leading scorer. He's coming off of a 30-burger against A&M. Longhorns in the burnt orange, Ole Miss in the home whites. Our officials tonight led by Vladimir Voyar-Tadal, Ron Gruber, and Tony Chiazzi. Fantastic atmosphere in the Pavilion. Ole Miss in Texas, and we are underway. Nearly a failed tip, but it's tracked down by the veteran Matthew Morrell. Ole Miss is 14-1 against unranked opponents this season. They're coming off of a Saturday loss on the road in Columbia, Missouri. Morrell fouled on his way to the rim, and Dane Bradshaw, that was a key part of Chris Beard's shoot-around today. Ranked foes are trying for their third in a row, and in the SEC, those opportunities are plentiful. Tre Johnson lost it, but it ended up in his teammates' hands, and Zarek Onyema kicks it outside. A bullet pass inside. Onyema gets spun around and still gets it to go.
Well, the quick ball movement by Texas has been a difference maker on that end of the court, and on this end, they've been playing lockdown defense.
But he chose to lay it in instead of hammering it home, and it was blocked and turned into a Mississippi State 3 on the other side. Here's Tre Johnson, the leading scorer in the SEC. He's trying to become the sixth freshman all-time to lead the SEC in scoring, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Tre Johnson loves this baseline, and Ole Miss loves to send you to that baseline short corner spot. Typically, that is a place you want to send the opponent. It's a low percentage look, but for Tre Johnson, that is his hottest spot on the court. So you see why Ole Miss is trying to bring those double teams, give him different looks. They must have gone through 5 or 6 different coverages in their scheme to try to keep Tre Johnson at bay.
That was a second on Matthew Morrell. Also of note, Tre Johnson came up with a little hitch, looked like his left ankle. One of the best free throw shooters in the SEC. He was 10 for 10 in the win against Texas A&M. Tre Johnson in the last 17 minutes outscored A&M on his own, 24-18.
He was absolutely remarkable in that second half comeback.
Tre Johnson tracks it down in the corner. The 30-point effort against A&M was the best for a Texas freshman since Durant's final game as a Longhorn, and now he picks up an assist on the dunk by Shedrick.
Here's what I love about that play, Tom. Tre Johnson has not been using the pick-and-roll opportunity efficiently at all. He typically waves them off or it leads to a double team. That time he attacks it, leads to an open dunk.
Ole Miss with the numbers. Klafke turns it over, intercepted by Johnson.
Jamal Mark's like, man, I should have stayed down there.
Yes, take the easy one. A little discombobulated. Longhorns will reset. They've turned it over 4 times tonight. They turn it over fewer than 10 times a game on average. Here's Julian Larry, then now Tre Johnson.
Every possession must end with a cut against this help side defense.
Tre Johnson contested deep 2. He's got 6. Larry into the paint. Kaluma touch pass. And Tre Johnson got it. Woo.
He's feeling it, man. It is carrying over from that second half at the Moody Center. This freshman is special.
Here's Tre Johnson. Gets into the paint. Got a bump. Goes down. And he'll be shooting 1-on-1.
How quick Jordan Pope is out ahead of this break. I mean, this guy's a jet, and he gets that extra gear, gets it up off the glass, and Pryor takes care of the rest. But even that right there, I mean, Coach Beard's going to say, hey, why is he beating us to that offensive rebound opportunity? Dia and others need to sprint back with a sense of urgency, clean that up. Because the first shot defense hasn't been terrible for Ole Miss, but they've given up 8 offensive rebounds.
So another one coming for Tre Johnson, who's hit 18 of his last 19 free throws. True freshman from Garland, Texas. He hits him at 27%.
He needs to see one go in. I mean, he can shoot it better than that. We saw him. He was a big part of that 4-game win streak to start conference play, and a primary reason why they had that huge win at Alabama. He was a monster.
He owned him on the glass. Tre Johnson is able to hit 13 for him. Ole Miss has a host of scorers on their team that one of 2 teams in the country. Minnesota being the other with 7 1,000-point career scorers. Texas has 5. Here's Pope for 3. But Texas, as Pope knocks it down, is full of scorers. And Ole Miss, partially because they're their defense-oriented team and the pace they play.
With that ISO opportunity.
Rebels lead by 3. Tre Johnson is able to get the whistle on the drive. The Texas bench insists that should count. And they'll count it.
Well, here's Brakefield going to back down the freshman. Spin back. So good with that right when he gets in that painted area.
And Tre Johnson going to the free throw line to try and make a 3-point play.
Key there, did he have an upward shooting motion when the foul occurred? And that's a little bit of continuation. It's not quite the rule as it stands today.
He'll get it every time next year.
Yep.
Third on Matthew Morrell. And so Morrell will take a seat. Tre Johnson has a chance to tie it. He was perfect from the free throw line. 10 for 10 on his way to career-high 30 against Texas A&M. What a scene at the Moody Center on Saturday. Texas only led in that game once, and they led when it mattered. 16 now for Johnson. Onyema trying to go high-low with Kaluma. Nearly lost it. Here's Tre Johnson for 3, and he's fouled! David Barnes commits a cardinal sin, fouling a 3-point shooter in a 5-point game. Tre Johnson going to the line.
Well, they start him on the opposite wing, and this is all a set play to bring him over to the ball side and run offense out of that post by Kaluma. So he comes over there prepared to shoot. That's what the play called for. And cardinal sin of fouling a 3-point shooter.
Free throw shooting was a big part of Tre Johnson's second half in the win against A&M. It included a moment where A&M got teed up for having 6 men on the court. Tre Johnson hit both free throws and then followed that up with a 3. Part of a 22-point comeback.
His free throw routine is like the anti-Giannis. No dribbles, just gets it up. I mean, he gets this thing off in 1 second.
Davis, a fade away, and Tremont Marks got it. Longhorns can tie with a 3. Julian Larry will start the offense. Here's Mark again, half step on Padula. Now he finds Tre Johnson, and we're tied.
Huge play by Mark. Came off the same way he did when he got to the free throw line, and the ability to look cross court and hit an open Tre Johnson. Unbelievable pass.
Nobody on the lane for Ole Miss. 1-1. If there's a miss, how quickly can Tre Johnson get into scoring position? One more coming. Barnes perfect from the line. Senior from Memphis. Drills it.
That is mental toughness for a guy that missed it against A&M to step up, make two, clutch.
Here's Pope. 6. Gives it up. Mark. The 4. Mark to Tre Johnson for the tie. It was right there. And Ole Miss snapped a 3-game losing streak by knocking off Texas 72-69.